I've had some friends recently ask me to do some more educational videos. I did one a few months back on playing safeties in straight pool. Straight pool, really, you've got four disciplines that you need to become a fairly decent straight pool player. You've got to be able to pocket balls, first of all, because you're going to be left with open tables, and you really need to be able to run balls and get through the rack, not leave them for your opponent. Um, you need to know when to get on to break shots, how to get on to break shots, how to hit the break shots. You, of course, need to understand safety play, when to play safe, how to play safe, what you're trying to accomplish on your saves. And I think the other really great discipline of straight pull is being able to read the pack, understand how to make balls out of the rack, um, to look at a rack and tell if a ball can be made, if it's dead, if it's close to dead and can be manipulated, or if it's just a foolish shot and you hit it and you're going to open up the rack for your opponent. So I think of all those, the first discipline in reading the rack is what I call throw shots. I think that's the foundation of all of it. So I'm going to do this video on throw shots only. I'll do another one on carom shots. I'll do another on combinations. And then I'll probably do a fourth one where we put it all together and um, show you how to have some actual rack situations. Sometimes you'll need to carom a ball into a combination to throw it into the pocket, and it's just all kinds of possibilities. I'm going to put this here. I'm going to try to aim these truthfully. So here, this ball is hitting. It's hitting outside the pocket. Now, if I just come up on here, think, well, that's close, I'm going to shoot it. Well, it goes right exactly because I hit the 13 right at the ball. It goes right exactly where you would think it would. But if I've got that same shot, right, aimed right there, because these two balls are frozen, so they can be frozen like this, or even within about an eighth of an inch of each other. This four ball, which is aimed outside of the pocket, right, is going to move in the same direction as the 13. So if I push the 13 this way, whereas if it was a combination, you'd think I'd have to cut it, right? I'd have to cut it this way to cut the four ball back. But because it's frozen, or like I say, within about an eighth of an inch of frozen, the four ball is going to move in the same direction as the 13. That's what I call a throw shot. See how far that went? Came in this side of the pocket, even though it was aimed here. And the shot I shot just before that, that was aimed there, went straight there because I hit it straight on, didn't manipulate that angle. So once you realize, hey, if these balls are frozen or really close to frozen, I can throw them. It gives you lots of options then where you see a shot that's really not lined up at the hole, but it can be made. The other thing, on top of just throwing the ball, is you can put English on this second ball back. And that English will also manipulate this ball. So in this situation, I want to hit the three and put right English, from my perspective, right English on the three, right? Which is going to rotate that 12, throw the 12 that way. Think of it as like a bicycle tire spinning, right? And I throw a gravel at it and it's going to throw it the way that it's spinning, right? So I've got this spinning bicycle tire, boom, and it's going to throw that off that way. Same thing here. This is a pretty long way to go, not a long time to get there, right? So I'm going to hit the three on my right side, which will push the three and the 12 towards the hole. I'm also going to put some left English on this cue ball, which will impart some right English on the three, and it'll throw the 12 even farther. So even though it's got a fairly long way to go, you can see how far that threw, right? So that's the first thing about shots out of the rack. You're going to have situations where you may have a ball like this in the rack, and it's aimed for the dead center of the hole, right? And I'm up table, and we'll say these balls aren't here, and I'm thinking, wow, that's 7. Well, it's not dead center, but it's just into the left of center from my perspective. So I think, wow, I'm gonna break that rack up and put that in. Now watch what happens. Wow. It's like, what happened? It's because the 10 ball, that third ball back, like we just talked about, it's because it was here and it was pushing this 7 ball, the 3 and the 7 down. So even though they were lined up for the hole, right, it wouldn't go. So I might have a situation like this the other way, where I've got this ball here and a ball here. And again, it looks like the 2 is going to go in the hole, but because the 11 is pushing the 12 that way, not hitting directly onto it, it's going to push the 2 ball out of the hole, right? So you've got to be careful. You'll have times where you've got a shot that looks dead, but you've got balls like this, and you can't manipulate it, right? Because you're going to push it that way or that way, because you don't have a ball here where you can hit it straight, right? So let's say I've got a situation like this, where I've got the 13 lined up too far out of the hole, and I've got a situation like this. These other balls aren't on the table. My opponent plays me safe, uh, leaves me up table. We'll say something like this. And I'm here. And I'm thinking, wow, I don't have much of a shot. Well, this 8 will actually come off the 7 and hit the 2 in the right spot, right? And I can add to that by putting a little left-hand English on the 2, right? Which will even help throw the 13 over there more. So I'm going to work backwards like a set of gears. Now, people say, this will only take through 1 or 2 balls, but I find if I shoot it this way, more often than not, it feels like that English transfers. So I want to make the 2 spin left, right, left, right, left, right. So if I put right English on the cue ball, left, right, left, left to throw that 13, and my 8 is going to come off of this 7 in a position that will push the 2 that way, which is where I need the 13. Now, if the 8 were here, there's no possibility to make this shot, right? Because it's hitting the wrong side of the 2. I'm already hitting south of the pocket here. I need to come the other way. But if the 8's here, where it's going to come off of that 7, all right? So here we go again. Left, right, left, right, left, right. And that's still got a long way to go. I'm not sure if I can get it to go that far or not, but I'm going to give it a try. Wow, look how far that threw, right? Even though it looked like a mess, the only thing that was important was the third ball back. Was it pushing in the right direction? So if I come up in this situation and I'm here and there's only 3 balls left on the table and I'm here, there's no way I can make this 1 ball, right? Because the 2 is in the wrong spot. It's going to push the 1 farther out. But if the 2's here, now suddenly I've got an opportunity to make the 1. It's always the third ball back. Is it pushing him in the right direction? I want to add a little, so I want to put a little right, left, right. So a little right on the cue ball. Hit that 2 into the right side of the 8. Wow, see, I almost overthrew that. But that English helps so much to increase the throw. So here, I've got a whole lot of whole lot of distance to throw, right? I'm aiming right at that diamond. I'm going to put a little left on the cue, which will put a little right on this 11. And you can see how far that threw the ball down. Just to recap, the key is the third ball back, right? This third ball back. So I've got the 8 pointing right here. Not really going to make it into the hole. And I've got a bunch of balls here. And my opponent leaves me safe, and I can't cut that in. All I can see from here is this side of the 12. I'm already heading in the wrong direction, right? So because the 5 ball is on the correct side to push both balls that way, this shot can be made. Did you see that? I mean, it threw from there all the way to the middle of the pocket, and not very far from here, right? Didn't have a lot of time to move, but it moved. There's a space in here too between frozen and about a quarter of an inch apart where this ball's not going to throw anymore. It's going to cut. So I'm going to put about this much space in between the balls, right? Like somewhere between a quarter and a half of an inch. And I'm going to line this ball up so it's headed here. Now, if these would throw, right? If this would throw, I'd hit this side of the 6. But because my gap is getting a little too big here, now I'm going to have to make the 3 go in the opposite direction because I'm going to cut the ball as opposed to throwing it. So I want to hit this 6 and put a little right English on it, hit it really thin so that it will throw the 3 down that way. Now, normally I would have hit this side of the 6 and pushed it. But because of the gap that I've got now, suddenly I've got to cut it instead of throwing it. So see that? I even overcut it just a hair. Let me do it one more time. So now again, and here's the difference. Everything we've looked at so far is throwing a ball when they're frozen or within an eighth or so of an inch. In this situation, my gap is closer to a quarter of an inch. I'm about that far off the ball, right? So because of that, for whatever physics reason I don't totally understand, this ball is going to have to cut now because it won't go in the same direction of the 3 because I've got too much gap. So I'm going to put the 3 thin into this 12. I'm going to hit a little left English on the cue ball, which will put right English on the 3 and help throw it down towards the pocket. So again, when I look at it, I'm aimed way up here. So I got to hit the 12 really thin, left hand English, throw it down into the pocket, right? So I hope that makes sense. You've got to try these things. You got to set them up. You got to figure out, all right, if I'm this far away and I've got that far to go, probably just throwing the ball is not going to be enough. I probably have to add English, left hand English on the cue to put some right hand English on the 5 to get it to go far enough, right? There will be times when I'm way up table here and I'm aimed fairly close to the pocket, where if I put that English on the 3 ball to throw it, it's going to throw it clear out of the pocket. So from here, I just want to hit a little to my right side of the 3 ball and throw the 5, which I still overdid it, right? Let me do that one more time. And the other thing is, you can manipulate how far you throw the 5 by how far you hit to the outside of the 3 ball. So here, I don't have to go far at all. So I'm just going to hit a little bit to the right of the 3, right? So I hope that makes sense. Like I said, throw shots when you're looking at a rack. Um, that's where you start. You look at how a ball's lined up. You figure out if it's going to combo or if it's going to throw. And then you can figure from there which side would a third ball need to be to move it if it needs to move one direction or another. Also, always remember this problem. You'll see, which we went over earlier, you'll see dead straight balls that look like they can't miss. But because I can't get to the middle of the six ball, right, it's going to push it. So um, I will get back with another video next time. We'll take a look at carom shots, and like I say, after that it'll be combinations, and then we'll do a video where we put them all together with some intricate shots out of the rack. So hope this helps. I would appreciate if you watch this and any comments or feedback. Maybe if I didn't explain something well or with any questions. And but the best way is to get on the table, give it some practice, and pretty soon you'll be feeling those shots. You'll be able to look at it and feel whether it's going to go, whether it's still not going to go, how much English you need to put, how far over to the side you need to hit the third ball back, et cetera, et cetera. So good luck. Let me know. Thanks.